Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Sarah. Sarah was an avid user of social media, spending hours each day scrolling through her feeds, watching videos, and commenting on posts. At first, Sarah found social media to be a fun and engaging way to connect with others and stay up to date on the latest news and trends. But over time, she began to notice that social media was having a negative effect on her mental health and well-being. Sarah realized that she was constantly comparing herself to the idealized versions of others that she saw on social media. She saw images of perfect bodies, perfect homes, and perfect lives, and she began to feel inadequate and envious. She started to feel like she wasn't good enough, like she wasn't living up to the standards set by social media. On top of this, Sarah found that social media was taking up too much of her time. She was spending hours each day scrolling through her feeds, and this was taking time away from other activities that she enjoyed, like spending time with friends and family, reading, and pursuing her hobbies. Finally, Sarah noticed that social media was causing her to feel more negative and pessimistic about the world. She was constantly exposed to negative news stories, online arguments, and hate speech, and this was starting to take a toll on her mental health. Sarah knew that something had to change. She couldn't continue to let social media have such a negative impact on her life, so she made a decision to start using social media more mindfully and in moderation. Sarah started by setting limits on her social media use. She decided to only check her feeds for a certain amount of time each day, and to avoid checking them before bed or first thing in the morning. She also started to unfollow accounts that made her feel negative or envious, and instead followed accounts that inspired and motivated her. Sarah also made a point to spend more time offline, pursuing other activities that made her happy and fulfilled. She started to read more, spend time with friends and family, and pursue her hobbies. Over time, Sarah noticed that her mental health and well-being started to improve. She felt less anxious and stressed, and more optimistic and fulfilled. She realized that by being mindful of her social media use and prioritizing other activities in her life, she was able to take control of her mental health and live a happier, more fulfilling life. The moral of the story is that social media can be a powerful tool, but it's important to use it mindfully and in moderation. By setting limits on our social media use and prioritizing other activities in our lives, we can avoid the negative effects of social media and live happier, more fulfilling lives.